Whatever. He probably was a one-night stand.
Did you guys know that Emily and Kobe's story is actually completely different than what they're telling us on 90 Day Fiance? I don't know about you guys, but when I was watching 90 Day Fiance, it felt like there was something that wasn't adding up about these two. Something about their story just didn't line up. So I took matters into my own hands and decided to do some research on their social media profiles, and I honestly could not believe what I found out about them. No, I've got to say, I think that you guys are going to be absolutely shocked. So first, I went to their Instagram profiles, and that alone revealed a crazy amount about their relationship. Like, I really don't believe that they were even in a relationship until Emily found out that she was pregnant. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how I came up with this, and the answer is actually pretty simple. I scrolled to the bottom of both of their profiles, and neither of them even mentioned the other one until Kobe was born. Emily, on one hand, has dozens of posts from when she lived in China, and almost all of them feature her friends, and she literally never even posted one with Kobe. And then when she got pregnant, she pretty much disappeared from February of 2019 until July 1st, 2019, announcing that she was 35 weeks pregnant, but saying nothing about the father of her child. Like, I'm serious, you guys, absolutely nothing was said about Kobe. And she even posted maternity pictures, and again, didn't even mention him. Like, no tags in the pictures or in the caption, no comments from Kobe, nothing. But it only gets weirder from there because, you know, I think we can safely assume that Kobe was born in like early August 2019, thanks to Emily's post in early, July 2019 about being 35 weeks pregnant, but neither of them posted pictures of each other until a while after Kobe was born. And I think I figured out why, because on 90 Day Fiance, Emily and Kobe admitted that the reason Kobe had to miss the birth of Kobe was because he didn't get approved for his visitor visa. But it's funny how the birth of Kobe, which we know was around the time of, Kobe's visitor visa got denied, lines up perfectly with when Emily and Kobe started posting as though they were in a relationship. Literally, there was not one mention of being in a relationship with each other on either of their Instagrams until after Kobe was born. And then after Kobe was born, they were suddenly posting a ton of pictures of each other. Now, part of me wants to say that this must mean that they were just on a one-night stand or a fling kind of thing, and they're now trying to convince everyone that they're actually in a relationship because of the K1 visa. But this is where it does get strange, because once they started posting pictures of each other, all of a sudden they both, had a ton of pictures to post of themselves together, and they're like, super coupley pictures. So I think I've worked out a timeline, and it is just a theory, but it actually seems like it probably is accurate. So I'm still holding my ground, and I think that Emily and Kobe were just a one-night stand, which they've both said multiple times, but literally even recently in an interview, you can see Emily start to kind of slip up and say how lucky she is that she ended up with Kobe after her one-night, thing turned baby daddy, and she tries to kind of backtrack and say that she means, as her partner, but it's pretty obvious what she was getting at. However, on the show, they say that even though they were technically, just a one-night thing, they got into a serious relationship very quickly, and I just don't buy that. I mean, I think that, she found out she was pregnant, and then they got into a relationship for their son. But this is where it gets interesting. So I think somewhere along the line of Emily's pregnancy, she and Kobe broke up because it would make perfect sense with the fact that neither of them have couple pictures on their social media from the actual time that they were, quote unquote, in a relationship during Emily's pregnancy. But after Kobe was born, they suddenly had all these pictures from that time period to post. And it's definitely possible that she had posted the pictures before and just deleted them after the breakup. And then we have even more evidence pointing toward the fact, to Kobe's Facebook. Now, I looked at both of their Facebooks, and Emily hid a lot from the public. Pretty much all you can see now are 90 Day Fiance trailers, but Kobe, on the other hand, has hidden nothing. He even has an update on his Facebook from December 28th, 2019, saying that he is in a relationship. So in case you forgot, Kobe was born in August of 2019. And then you have the whole, quote unquote, visitor visa of it all. And if Emily and Kobe were supposedly engaged before she found out that she was pregnant with Kobe, why didn't they apply for a K1 visa in the first place? And why do both of their Facebook profiles say in a relationship and not engaged? So I really think that that answer is simple. They had a one-night kind of a thing and figured they'd, never see each other again. And instead she found out that she was pregnant and decided to be in a relationship and get engaged. Then probably when she went back to America, they broke up, and a breakup makes perfect sense because why wouldn't they break up? He lives in Africa, she lives in America, but they met in China. That's a relationship that spans across like 3 different continents. How are they ever supposed to to make that work while she was pregnant if they couldn't even be in the same continent. But anyway, then after the possible breakup, he applied for a visitor visa so that he could be there for the birth of Coben, and that's the only way I can see that they would have applied for a visitor visa instead of a K1 visa. And then when it got denied, they decided to backtrack and make it appear like they were in a relationship, and all of a sudden posting all these couple pictures that they had never posted before in hopes that it would get them approved for the K1 visa maybe, which we all know they did get approved for, just super delayed because of, COVID and the pandemic. And maybe now they're actually in a relationship, or when they, got to America, they were, whatever. But one thing seems very clear. They're only in this relationship, if you want to call it that, so that Kobe could meet his son. And of course, they have to keep up with this whole story for 90 Day Fiance cameras, or else immigration will see that it's been a lie. And then we have the spoilers about the current state of their relationship. And if you guys don't like spoilers, I suggest that you skip ahead or stop watching, because this one is kind of weird. So when you look at their relationship timeline, Coben was born, like I said, in August 2019, and because he's 17 months old on the show, it's most likely January 2021 while they're filming, and they are definitely still in the same location if the interview that they just did for Entertainment Tonight proved anything. So that would lead us to believe that they're married, right? But not necessarily, because once again, Kobe's Facebook gave us some very interesting information. So aside from the fact that both their Facebook, still say in a relationship instead of just making it private, you still have the fact that Kobe seems to have recently been in Africa, and in January of 2022, he posted a video with his friends where the location literally was tagged Cameroon. And I mean, maybe they did get married last January and his immigration paperwork is already done, meaning that he can travel, or maybe they didn't get married and he's, back living in Cameroon. But I mean, his current location on Facebook is listed as Cameroon, so it definitely seems possible, but it does bring up the question why they were together for the recent interview. So all I can think of is that maybe he's able to visit America to see Coben, but that seems kind of far-fetched, all things considered. So it's probably pretty likely that they got married, which is pretty crazy considering that they, really doesn't seem like they were in a relationship to begin with. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think my theory is right? I know it sounds kind of far-fetched, but it actually makes perfect sense to me if this is what happened. I would just be shocked, I have to say, if they actually went through with the wedding. But don't get me wrong, I actually like both of them as people. I think he is an incredibly nice guy. She's fine, I think he is such a nice guy, and she's also pretty fine too. There's times where I'm not her biggest fan, but for the most part, they're fine together. But it just kind of seems like something's really weird about their relationship, and I definitely think that this could be it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please do me a huge favor, hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.